April was reading some secret shit to me. Because we can't say bad things about the brand or brands, so we have to just be very careful. But anyway, I could talk about this, is that people who complain about it's expensive or you're a ripoff, and this is a lot of shops and service writers and service managers and shop owners and are going to really relate to this. And what I want the public to do is, before you call the shop and get a price, I want you to call the dealership of the vehicle that you own. Right? So call your Ford dealership, call your Toyota dealership, call your Lexus, call your dealership first before you ask another shop for a price for brakes.
Yeah.
Or call your dealership and ask them how much it is for a catalytic converter. And oil change and tire rotation, all that stuff. And then make your next call your local mechanic or a shop, and then really find out who's putting it to you.
Yeah.
You will certainly find more value that way in your life than just picking up the phone and saying you think that an oil change should be $24.95 for your, I don't know, we'll just give you an example, your Mercedes.
Yeah.
When in reality, Mercedes is $400 for an oil change. And then when you call the next local shop, we'll just call Concordville Automotive and ask them how much car. But call the dealership first and find out what it costs. Even find out what wiper blades cost there and how much they charge to put them on. Or a reprogram or a flash or calibrate your tires or TPMS. And then when you call and the guy says, yeah, how much is an oil change for my Mercedes? You're like, oh yeah, that takes 9 quarts of oil and a cartridge filter, sir. That's $150 here. Wow, I just got off the phone with Mercedes and they want near $400. Boy, you guys are a value.
Yeah.
Instead of, well, that's expensive. Well, what are you comparing it to? Yeah. What you read online, or because you Googled you need an oxygen sensor for a code, and that's not even the diagnostic strategy, is just to get you to go buy a part, and then you want to buy it from Amazon, eBay, or Temu for $8.99 that you can't even get at AutoZone or Advanced for $75. Yeah, so I think every shop owner, every service writer, and all this will definitely, this will resonate with them, is that I want every customer to call the dealer. How much is a muffler for Hyundai Tiburon, which is probably discontinued, but if they have a price still, it's probably like $1,800 for the muffler assembly for that car. I'm going to say, well, probably like $200. And if that's too high for you, you need to get a saw and some clamps and some muffler mud and some screws and some shit from the parts store and slap it on. But I'm so over people bashing everybody for price that if you want to know what expensive is, call your dealership first and start there, right? Start there at your dealership and say, wow, can I really go there and afford a 100K service for my car, or a 60K service? And then they give you a price for $2,000 for fluids and visual checks. Yeah. And then you call your local guy that you've been using it forever, and he says, oh yeah, antifreeze, trans service, spark plugs, GDI, bunch of visual inspections. Oh yeah, it's like $500. What a value, right? What a savings.
Yeah.
That will give you something to compare instead of you just winging it, calling shop to shop to shop until you find the rattiest shop to do the work. And he's like, oh yeah, just bring your own parts and I'll put them on for you. And then you show up with your Temu pile of parts and wonder why your car's not fixed after he's done. Or if he can even fix it.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And what stemmed from this is that there was another shop getting murdered on Facebook. Mm-hmm. That they said that they supplied all their exhaust parts for a job at this shop and they wanted $800. And I said, well, did he supply exhaust manifolds, catalytic converters? What did you supply? He supplied his own exhaust parts. Yeah. Well, if they estimated it higher, right? Typically most shops are, if it's not a product line that they know or didn't sell to you, they charge more labor to put it on. But what I want you to do is call the dealership of that vehicle and ask them to install your shit.
Yeah.
And see what they say. It's going to be the big no. And if it is a big yeah, it's going to be near $300 an hour for them to install your crap. So what's 3 hours of labor at the dealership nowadays? $900 almost. 3 measly hours, almost $900.
Yeah.
When you call a shop like mine or anyone else's, 3 hours is, I don't know, $450. Do you see the savings there? Do you see the wow value? I hear it all the time. Oh, that's expensive. Oh, that sounds high. Well, what are you comparing it to? 1965 prices for tires? It's not high. It's because everyone's buying the same. We're buying parts from almost all the same suppliers locally that everyone else is. Yep. There really isn't that much buying power for everybody. There isn't. It's who's willing to work for what profit margin and what labor dollars. That's what it comes down to. And it's not always cut and dry. You know, you say, "Oh, I just need an exhaust manifold." It's pretty easy. Dealership language today is if it's exhaust related, it's double labor rate.
Yeah.
And that goes for us too. If it's 4 hours labor, it's 8 hours labor to deal with your rusted off exhaust manifold bolts and studs. Because you know why? It's specialty work. It's time consuming. We can't tell you how well and how easy it's going to go. We don't know. It's surgery, and it's the worst type of surgery. And most mechanics don't even want to deal with it. But I think maybe this will help the world appreciate the local mechanic more. That call your dealership first and ask them. Call the dealer how much a time and belt and water pump is for this Ford Escape. I'm going to tell it's close to $2,000. $2,000 for a time and belt and water pump for a little teeny tiny engine and a nothing job. So this is a 4-hour job. I could tell you that I know a shop that just did one for somebody and they were $1,500 and my price was $1,300. That's a fact. Little teeny tiny car like that. Easy time and belt. Call the dealership first and ask them how much a water pump. Ford has an engine which is the stupidest designed vehicle on their engines. The water pump is ran on the timing chain inside the engine. Do you think the average person, after owning that car for 5 or 10 years, is going to spend $3,000 for a water pump job on that car? No. The first thing they do is when they hear it, for just a water pump? Yes, just for a water pump. Tear the valve covers off. Tear the intake manifold off. Tear the timing cover off. Tear the whole car apart. Yes. $3,000 and higher, I've heard. That's why when someone hears that, they trade that crap right in. And what do? They go buy another one of the same vehicles with the same water pump design.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. But call the dealership first and ask them what they charge. And then with a shop like mine, you hear, oh my God, 2 wheel bearings are only $700? And the dealership just quoted me $2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're near $300 an hour, not including whatever their new parts are, even if they even offer you aftermarket parts, which they probably won't. What are you comparing it to, sir? That's what it comes down to. And I always tell some people are price shopping me, I'm like, just make me your last call.
Right.
Don't make me your first call. But what's your best price? So I can tell you that if I'm wasting your time, if you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
Right? If you're calling around, what's your best price? And if I'm willing to work with you, I will. And if I'm not, instead of just like, I called 18,000 places in 3 weeks for brake pads and rotors. I'm just making examples, but this is kind of what it is. Like, just tell me what your price is. Huh?
They're in a panic. They need brakes, but they don't have.
And then we get the phone call where I've already shopped all my competition locally. I already know I'm $100 less than a majority of the shops on Route 130. You never see that customer. We already know, like, there's nobody doing brake pads and rotors on an average vehicle less than my shop.
Correct.
And they don't show up. So if they called the dealership, absolutely 100%, we're way less money. And if they call around to the other shops, we're already less than them already on purpose because that's the way I want it. But I don't do brake jobs every day. And we're putting the same parts on the 15 shops in our area.
Although you did do a lot of brake jobs on Friday.
Well, one was a regular customer. Another was a regular customer.
You did a lot of brake
Yeah.
jobs on Friday.
But that's my point. But my point is that I already know that I have the best value, and it's the same products everyone else is. They're picking up the phone. They're calling 3 parts vendors in our area unless they're putting OEM on, and then that just changes everything. But I already know our prices are way lower, and we don't do brake jobs every day. And maybe if I just raise it to what everyone else charges, maybe it's like, well, if that's just the price, then I'm just going to pay the price.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And then our oil change, just another thing, our oil change prices are less than a quick lube. Like we're not bombed with oil changes all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Like less than a quick lube. Higher skill. We know more about the car. We can keep a better eye on it. But they'll go there and get a strip drain plug and maybe an empty, filled up transmission or something like that. You know, not get the job right. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there, but we're less. And it just scratches my head, like, why? If you're calling around, I already know the answer. Unless you're getting a friend to do it for you, or maybe a mobile mechanic, but his prices are no less than mine because he's buying them from the same place as I am. He's just willing to work for less labor and less profit and drive around and work on your car and hope that will answer your phone if there's a problem. Right? He's like, oh no, I just did that brake job. Why? And they call me. My brakes are squeaking. My brakes are pulsating. My check engine light's on now. My brake warning light's on now. You think he's driving back a half hour? No way, he ain't coming back. And he could come back if he was charging my prices. Like, yep, I'll see you tomorrow, sir. I made enough profit to come back if there's a problem. But yeah, do yourself a favor, call your dealerships first, and do your homework there, and then call. And they say, yeah, I just called the dealership for an alternator for my car, and they want $1,800.
See, Mark should have went south, not north.
And I call you guys, and aftermarket parts like $800. Yeah. Well, you know, how much is it with an OEM? Well, we call it a dealership. We find out what it is, and our labor is going to be way less. We're still going to be way less.
Yeah.
No, this is a perfect road. All right, I'm going to be done with my rant now.
Okay.
Bye.